Hello everyone, today we are going to learn something very interesting and we will be exploring the art of origami in mathematics. So you must be thinking, what is this origami and how it is related to learning of mathematics. So origami is basically an art of paper folding. And this art was originated in Japan. And Japanese, they used to create creative stuff using origami. Now, this origami word is made up of two. So, ori and gami. So, ori meaning folding, and gami is basically kami. It means paper. Interesting. See, it's reversed. Folding paper. So art of folding the paper is known as origami. So let us see how we see mathematics in this. So I'm taking a piece of paper, and when we fold a paper, see how we fold it. You can fold it any way. And press this, and then you get a crease. Now in mathematics, this crease is considered as a line. See what a beautiful representation. When we fold a paper, unfold it, you get a crease. And on this crease, you can draw a line. And this line, if you mark, on this line, if you mark 2 points, A and B, AB will be a line segment. So what is a line segment? Line segment is a part of a line. Now I'm asking you a thinking question. My first thinking question is, tell me how many line segments you can draw. How many line segments you can draw on a line? How many line segments are there on a line? What do you think? This is a line. Yes, on a line, we can have infinite number of points. I can have a point here. So I can say AC is a line segment. I can say BC is a line segment. Right? Similarly, I can have infinite number of points on this line. So there are infinite line segments on a line. Now, how do you write the line? I'm again doing this process. Take a piece of paper, fold it, you get a crease, unfold, and on this crease, you can get a line. And you see, I have put arrows on both the sides. It means the line can be extended in both the directions. Now, if I take two capital alphabets on this line, I can say that AB, and if I put a symbol like this on top of AB, then I say AB is a line. There is another way also of representing this line. I can write a small alphabet and I say L is a line. And line has no finite length. But a line segment has a fixed length. So if I say AB is a line segment, and from A to B, say for example, it is 2 centimeter. So I will write AB is 2 centimeters. Right? Let us see how can I get the midpoint of a line segment. First, we need to understand what is a midpoint? You know, midpoint is a point on a line segment. Say for example, here is a line segment AB. So midpoint will be a point on this AB which divides AB into two equal parts. If I say M is a point such that AM is equal to MB, then I say M is the midpoint of AB. So let us see how using paper folding we can get the midpoint of a line segment. So I'm using the same paper. So the first step is we are going to fold it. You can fold it anyway. Unfold it and you see a crease over there, and on the crease we can draw a line. Say for example, we are given a line segment of 4 centimeters. So how do you first mark this line segment AB on this line, say L? So first step, let us mark a point A anywhere, and then using the ruler I can mark 4 centimeters. And see, I can get a point B over here. So AB is now 4 centimeters, right? If I say, okay, construct a line segment AB of length 4 centimeter, then in that case, what you are going to do is you will be using a compass. You know how to use a compass? In that case, we will be taking the radius 4 centimeter first, and then we will be marking from A, and we will be marking an arc from A on this line L. So let me first set the compass. See, here it is ready to use. Okay, so if I have to construct, then in that case, what will I do? So this is a ruler, and I will be taking the radius 4 centimeters with A as center and 4 centimeter as radius. You cut an arc. Then in that case, you will see you get a point. Here we named that point as B. So AB is 4 centimeter. Now we need to get the midpoint of this AB. See how we will be getting that. So we can see that this is how AB is there. So to get the midpoint of AB, what we are going to do is we will be folding in such a way that the point B and the point A, they coincides with each other, and then we need to make another crease. See how I have done. You fold it in such a way that point B coincides with point A, and then make a crease. So when you unfold, then you can see that crease, right? And on this crease, let us draw the line. So you will notice that this point is M, and this point M is at a distance of 2 centimeters. Let us verify that. So you can see that this is 2 centimeter from B and this is 2 centimeter from A. Also, you will see that if this point is say P and this is Q, then angle PMB will be 90 degrees. Similarly, angle PMA will be 90 degrees. And we say that PQ is perpendicular bisector of AB. I'm writing here. PQ is perpendicular bisector of AB. So here we have used two things now, perpendicular and bisector. Perpendicular meaning it is making an angle of 90 degrees with this line. And then bisector meaning it is bisecting the line segment AB into two equal parts. I hope it is clear to you. Let us proceed further and see what else we can do. Now I am taking a sheet again and I will be now trying to make one isosceles triangle whose side is this breadth of this rectangular sheet. One side is given. Okay, see, I'm marking this point as A and this point as B. So how do I get an isosceles triangle? So the process is, step 1, we will be making perpendicular bisector of AB. Now you understand that AB is a line segment, and when we were getting the midpoint, so basic process is we are getting the perpendicular bisector of AB. So let us do that. So fold the paper in such a way that point B coincides with A and form a crease. Unfold it, and on this crease, if we draw a line, this will be perpendicular bisector of AB, isn't it? Now there is one interesting geometrical result, that you take any point on this perpendicular bisector. Say for example, I take a point here, C, and we make a crease joining AC and then in the same way make a crease joining BC. See how simple it is to do so. And when you unfold, you will notice that this CA is equal to CB. Let me draw the line. This CA is equal to CB. So can you tell me, if in a triangle we are having two sides are equal, so which type of a triangle is this? Yes, it's an isosceles triangle. Now you tell me another thinking question. Now the question is, how many isosceles triangles you can make? On a line segment AB. I'm taking this line segment AB. How many isosceles triangles are possible? Yes, you are right. We can mark as many points on this line. I can get a point here, D. And we will see that AD is equal to DB. Right? So we get another isosceles triangle. I can get a point here, E. AE is equal to EB. So this way you can imagine that infinite number of isosceles triangles can be made if we are given a line segment AB. And see, with paper folding we have seen it. Now another interesting thing is, if I have to get an equilateral triangle, what do you think will be the process? Same thing is given to us, that we can take this side of sheet of paper as one side of the equilateral triangle, and this is AB, right? So the basic process is same. First we need to get the perpendicular bisector of this AB. So by folding we can get this, and then what we will be doing is, because we need to get an equilateral triangle and we know that any point on this line, if we join that point with A and B, then the distance between them, those line segments actually will have the same length. So what we will be doing is, we will be trying to locate a point on this line whose length from A is equal to AB. So what I will do, I am moving this point B and trying to put its corner on this perpendicular bisector to get another point C. See how I have done. I am repeating. This A point is fixed and I am moving this point B so that this AB is equal to AC. Right? And we know that AC is equal to CB. See what we have done. AB is equal to AC. This we have done. And AC is equal to CB. So can we say that all the three sides are equal? AB is equal to AC is equal to BC. So this is how we get the equilateral triangle. So if we join AC and we join BC, we get an equilateral triangle. Isn't it interesting? Now my question to you. How many equilateral triangles you will get? Think and tell. Yes, you can write your answer